Patricia Bazad was there in 1973 and continued to take a stand and lead the way. Her influences as a storyteller, an educator, and a cultural organizer is heralded all over the region.
Laughing at Myself, Summer Madness. James Catalin and friends took the nation by storm on stage and on television. His striking Bahamian comedy calmed our fears, gave us tolerance, and opened windows to multiculturalism. James taught us the business of culture, and his trove continues to expand and develop, and their work is a mirror of our society, a lesson for our future. James has strode the stage for more than 40 years and never wobbled. Defiant, yet tolerant. Bureaucratic, yet cordial. We all need to laugh at ourselves.
There isn't a child alive in Bahama land who hasn't felt the urge to move a foot, shake a body, and explore liberation at the first beat of Tony McKay's Be Rushing Through the Crowd. In Cat Island, you will find one piece of sweet pie. One politician used the words of Tony's hit, Rude Boy, to chasten another politician. And that politician quickly accepted the Rude Boy tag, and the rest is history. Tony McKay is in our DNA, from Rosita to Damn Fool, You Marry the Garland, to Brown Girl in the Ring, we live, we breathe, Exuma, the Obeah Man.
Down Blue Hill Road, the story must be told about Jumbe Village. Edmund Spencer Moxie, cultural warrior of the highest order, sought to remind us all of who we are and where we came from, in order that we might not forget who we are. At Jumbe Village, he cleaned up the dump and filled in the swamp. From his now legendary contribution to the political, social, and economic report on the Bahamas in the 1970s, to his muscle and guts political brand, Mr. Edmund Spencer Moxie is a tower of cultural accomplishment.
Shirley was invited by Freddie Munning Sr. to choreograph shows for his Cat and Fiddle nightclub. Mistress Bass fell in love with the Bahamian people, particularly the children, and she became the dance. From her work came the National Dance Theater, and scores of dancers learned at her feet and honor her fabulous memory, work ethics, and commitment to excellence.
Once upon a time in the colony of the Bahama Islands, little black Bahamian children read unflattering school books about Sabo the little black African boy. Susan Wallace saw the need for Bahamian children to have pride in who they were, and pride and faith in what they could become. She authored children's stories and poems which gave our children a sense of place and a sense of decency. She got the prejudice of colonialism out of us by giving us something to read which was about us, the Bahamian people.
Paul Mez, it was said, was the handsome or best-looking black man of his time. He danced in Europe and was the sweetheart of the major dance clubs and theaters of Parisian life. He returned to his beloved Bahamas with his theater on Market Street. A tragic end to a legend ahead of his time, and a lesson to all of us of what can happen when good men do nothing to stop injustice.
Theophilus Coakley and the T-Connections were the Bahamian funk sound on the American stage in the late 1970s and the disco age. From their humble beginnings in Freeport to their rise to stardom with their international hits, Theophilus Coakley, the boy from Cargill Creek, Andros, who got his first music start from Leroy Buchanan, was nominated for a Grammy Award, years before Bahamian would go on to win the first Grammy Award for Bahamian artists.
The ties that binds us, the culture that unites us, the forces which bid us to reconcile our differences is contained in the chords of our beloved national anthem. Timothy Gibson, music extraordinaire, educator, the boy from Savannah Sound, Eleuthera, put the music in our hearts.
What a fantastic voice Wendell Stewart possessed. He could lullaby angels, and we thank heaven for him. Wendell and his band, the Night Beaters, performed all over Nassau and Freeport before he landed nightclub jobs in New York and left home to serenade the Americans with My Sweet Bahama Lullaby. Winston Saunders left us too soon. His wit, scholarship, acting, writing, leadership, and his presence was the centrifuge in theatre. Winston took us to Scotland and Carafesta. I, Nehemiah, remember when. And You Can Lead a Horse to Water, are gems in the Bahamian pantheon of drama.
Nassau Gone Funky, Nassau Got Soul, The Beginning of the End, was a success story of the early 1970s, which gave fuel to the new country's talent engine. Scores of artists produced in that period, encouraged by the international success of this group. Because of them, the city of Nassau lives forever in pop culture, and the Bahamas is the better for it. Meta Davis Cumberbatch is called the patriarch of culture because she has no male equal. Many of the cultural warriors honored in this year of culture studied at her feet and were inspired by her work and leadership. The country owes her a huge debt for her selfless service and the vision she espoused to get us to believe in ourselves and our Bahamian culture.
Vola and Gus. Let the music tell their story. We are all Junkanouas. Gus and Vola are the hallmarks of the culture, and by their work and leadership, they have transformed communities, made men and women out of boys and girls, and continued the sacred path and spiritual journey handed down to us at the dawn